All right, let's talk about an idea that's, well, it's kind of simple on the surface, but when you really sit with it, it's tough. It's a framework that forces you to get brutally honest about your ambitions and, what you're really willing to pay for them.
No, seriously, just for a second. Picture a regular kitchen stove, all four burners lit and burning. Now imagine reaching out and deliberately turning one of them completely off, cold. How does that feel?
So this isn't just some random kitchen hypothetical, right? It's actually the key metaphor for a really powerful and frankly kind of controversial concept about life's big trade-offs.
The idea is that your life is basically that stove. Each burner represents one huge part of who you are. So you've got family, your partner, kids, parents. Then you have friends, your social life, your community. The third burner is health, and we're talking both physical and mental. And finally, work, your career, your passion, your ambition. Those are the big four.
And okay, this is where that cozy stove metaphor, well, it starts to get a little sharp. This theory isn't here to tell you what you want to hear. It's not about work-life balance or having it all. Nope. In fact, it's promising you the exact opposite.
So here's the first rule. To be successful, you have to turn off one burner. And I mean off, not just on a low simmer, off. The theory says to achieve real success in some areas, one of those four major parts of your life has to go completely dark, period.
And if you thought that was rough, it gets worse. The second rule? To be extraordinarily successful, we're talking outlier, top-of-the-world successful, you don't just sacrifice one burner. You sacrifice two. That's right. Two of those burners are just gone. You're left with just two things roaring at full power.
And look, this isn't some brand new productivity hack from the internet. It's an idea that keeps coming back because it just resonates. The writer David Sedaris made it famous. James Clear gave it a huge boost in Atomic Habits. And now it's popping up all over again. Probably because we're all trying to figure out this whole ambition versus burnout thing,
But let's be real for a minute. Is this just a cool theory, or does it actually play out in real life? When we look at the people we consider the most successful, what do we actually see?
I mean, think about it. You look at these titans of industry, the people who literally shape our world. Elon Musk has been incredibly open about the personal cost of his ambitions. Jeff Bezos' relentless, all-consuming focus on Amazon's growth happened alongside a massive shift in his family life. And the stories from the early days of Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg's work burner was on full blast, which means others probably weren't.
And this gets to why this theory just feels so true, doesn't it? It's because our time and energy, they are finite. There's only so much to go around. It's not about willpower or just trying harder. It's basically physics. Every ounce of energy you pour into your career is an ounce you can't pour into your health or your friends. It has to come from somewhere.
But, okay, let's pump the brakes here for a second. Is this theory really the whole story? Or is it maybe a little too simple? Maybe even a little, pessimistic?
So the biggest pushback is that this framework feels like it was designed by and for a very specific type of person. I mean, the whole idea that you can just turn off the family burner, for so many people, that's not just hard, it's impossible. And it completely ignores that if you're super wealthy, you can outsource a lot. You hire trainers, nannies, assistants. You're essentially just buying more gas for your stove.
Yeah, and the critiques don't stop there. Doesn't this whole thing just promote a toxic kind of guilt? And what about when life overlaps? When your work friends are your best friends, or when working out is your family time? And maybe the biggest question of all is, who gets to define success in the first place? Historically, for a lot of women, that family burner was never a choice to turn off at all.
So, if the theory has all these holes, should we just throw it out? Well, maybe not. Maybe we've just been looking at it the wrong way. What if it's not meant to be a strict rule for your life, but more of a diagnostic tool, a way to check in?
So how does that work? Well, first, you audit your own stove. Be honest. Which flames are cranked up high? Which are just flickering? Then, and this is the part I love, you think in seasons. Instead of turning things off forever, you just rotate your focus. Maybe for the next 3 months, work is on high. But after that, you deliberately turn it down and crank up the health burner. All the while, you're finding ways to keep the low burners from going out completely. And that is the modern, more humane way to look at this whole thing. It's not about permanent sacrifice. It's about intentional imbalance. You can have a season for your career, a season for your family, a season for your health. You are the one at the controls, consciously deciding where the energy goes.
Which, of course, leads us to the most important point of all.
It's your stove, your life. You are always the one in control of the dials.
This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? The goal isn't to have all 4 burners blazing at once. That's not success. That's just a recipe for total burnout. The real skill is choosing which flames to feed, knowing you can't feed them all at the same time.
So you see, the 4 burners theory isn't actually meant to be a bummer. It's meant to be liberating. It's a permission slip to let go of this impossible cultural pressure to be a perfect parent, a flawless friend, a fitness icon, and a business titan, all at the same time. It gives you permission to simply choose.
And that leaves us with one last, very personal question. Looking at your own stove, right now, in this season of your life, knowing you can't have every flame on high, which one are you willing to turn down, even just a little, to let another one burn brighter?